Get ready for the ride of your life. I'm your host, Brian Cliffside, and for the first time in the show's history, we take you behind the scenes of the greatest annual review on Earth. There's a lot of surprises on this year's annual review. For the first time, we'll be shaking things up a bit and mixing in some street performance with the live show. Exciting, right?
We gave significant input and conducted extensive community outreach on the Civic Field project. We also reviewed and gave input on park and beach improvement projects at the North Beach Playground, North Beach Trail improvements, open space concepts in the downtown community plan, as well as beach volleyball permitting and tournament protocols.
We provided input on community garden permits and advocated for increasing safety in parks and supported ongoing park maintenance activities.
We produced events year-round for people of all ages and interests. We strengthened our sponsoring partnerships with Snapchat, Cliff Bar, and others. With our recommendation to the city for a new restaurant lease, Seaside at the Pier will open this summer. Also, longtime pier tenant Rusty's is undergoing a major renovation and will reopen this summer. We work with city staff for a smooth implementation of a number of improvements to the pier infrastructure to keep the pier physically strong and safe. How about that?
This is a new bit the show's trying out this year, and it's 3 hours before showtime. Okay, let's try it. If it doesn't work, we'll do something else. No pressure.
As part of the effort to comply with the watershed regulations for Santa Monica Bay and reduce trash pollutants that enter our oceans through storm drains, the city selected over 500 catch basin locations to be retrofitted with trash screens. The screens installed in these catch basins will reduce the amount of trash that enter our Santa Monica Bay. In 2017, we saw the installation of nearly 5,000 linear feet of treated urban runoff water pipeline from a 2.75 million gallon reservoir located beneath the city of Los Angeles' Penmar Park into a 25,000 gallon holding tank at Marine Park. The tank will supply peak daily irrigation needs to the park and will save approximately 3.5 million gallons of potable water per year.
There's only one spot for a costume on this show. I hope you have a day job.
We advise the city on key initiatives and environmental policies, including the Electric Vehicle Action Plan, water neutrality, and community choice aggregation. We continue to monitor the city's waste self-sufficiency, our zero waste initiative, and carbon neutrality. In 2017, we also provided input to the Downtown Community Plan, the Local Coastal Plan, and the Climate Vulnerability Assessment. Are you kidding me? Do we really need this guy? Somebody get me Ken on the phone, will you?
Grace, have you seen Grace? Can anybody find Grace? It's the director. Grace is a legend. Her performance is a showstopper in this annual review. I got an advanced copy of the script. I can quote every line. With the goal of increasing use of drought-tolerant species across the city, replacing those that are performing poorly and better matching those that grow space size, our subcommittee made changes to the primary and/or secondary designations for 11 street segments in Santa Monica and created 4 new street segments that were omitted from the original version in 2011. Now, these changes will ultimately improve the sustainability and function of the urban forest while meeting the city's species diversity goal. We were diligent in researching the potential for a private tree ordinance and forwarded our recommendation to the City Council. We also made recommendations on 7 tree removal appeals from residents or developers. Finally, we approved 5 new trees to be inducted into the city's Heritage Tree Program, which recognizes exceptional public trees. I thought that was pretty good.
During 2017, the airport experienced significant changes, the most important being that the consent decree between the federal government and the city of Santa Monica gives a date certain for the end of federal control of the land on December 31st, 2028. In addition, the FAA agreed to allow the runway to be shortened to 3,500 feet. Finally, the Commission strongly advised the city to conduct an air pollution study that took advantage of conditions before the reconfiguration during the project with no air operations and after reconfiguration. There was significant movement in airport matters in 2017, and the Commission looks forward to another year of advising and implementing the policies of the City Council.
Oh my God, Rael Rubin! I've been a fan. Can I shake your hand? Oh
Want my autograph too?
Looks like the cast is taking a little break, so you might want to cover your ears because I got another spoiler alert. Now, the Downtown Community Plan is the result of years of work by the city and the community. Now, it's encouraging more housing density than in other areas, with new housing adjacent to transit hubs and concentrated where there are no significant historic resources, meeting the demanding requirements for sustainability. Now, 492 new units were approved, many of them on Lincoln Boulevard, within the DCP area. The Planning Commission prioritized the Pico Neighborhood Plan to ensure that this community within the city can continue to flourish through adjustment of zoning standards and other government-led incentivized programs. Vision Zero goals have been set to ensure that all models of transportation can coexist safely.
In 2017, the Architectural Review Board weighed in on a vast array of projects, both large and small, carefully considering their impacts on our neighborhoods and corridors in Santa Monica. Some of the highlights include preliminary reviews of a variety of projects that will continue to enhance Wilshire Boulevard, as well as new housing that will transform the Lincoln Corridor. Other notable projects include a mixed-use residential development on Ocean Avenue and Broadway, an addition and facade remodel on Colorado, and a new parking structure on Michigan.
All right, that was perfect. Therese, great job. Yeah.
Thanks.
Brian.
Okay.
I'm here.
Thanks.
I've never done a segment like this before, and I'm a little nervous. Wish me luck. The Landmarks Commission is thrilled to report that information pertaining to our designated landmarks and historic districts is now available through the city's GIS mapping system. Members of the public can search for landmarks by address or by selecting icons on an interactive map. They can find all sorts of useful information, including descriptions, photos, and significance statements. This is an exciting new tool for making our city's important historic places and the Commission's work as publicly accessible and transparent as possible. Our other achievements in 2017, by the numbers, included designating 5 new landmarks, 1 structure of merit, and granting 4 new Mills Act contracts. Finally, we approved certificates of appropriateness for the rehabilitation and adaptive reuse of several high-profile landmarks, including the former Sears building and the former Mar Vista apartments. Look for exciting improvements to these 2 downtown icons very soon.
We conducted hearings on policy and technical issues involving specific provisions of the building and fire codes and ordinances. We also continually review the updated editions of the building and fire codes with staff and recommend any revisions appropriate for the city's building, seismic, fire, health, and other public safety programs.
The Commission also met to discuss recommendations to City Council to adopt an ordinance which sets forth procedures for expediting permitting processing for electrical vehicle charging systems, which was approved by Council and went into effect on October 26, 2017. That's it good? Did you get all that?
It was amazing.
We're a great team.
You've never been better.
Agreed. Agreed.
Ready, ladies?
Hold on. Let's go to our report first and come back to these dance steps later. In 2017, the Commission for the Senior Community focused on increasing its visibility and its communication capacity with the goal of ensuring that the concerns of all older Santa Monicans, whether 50 or 100 years of age, are effectively represented in all city policy decisions that affect the quality of their day-to-day lives.
In our effort to reach and address the concerns of a large and diverse group of older adults, we have become a more action-oriented commission. We have developed a more robust communications infrastructure, identifying and using new communication channels to advance our commission goals.
Pure genius.
Hey, Ken, I made some changes. I hope you like them.
I'm sure I will. Just in case I don't, do you have the original script ready to go?
I do, but I know you're going to love this version. Through our partnership with NCJW LA and the 2016 Human Trafficking Resolution, Santa Monica became the first city in LA County to enforce the law that mandates certain businesses to publicly post trafficking hotline information. And we can now report 100% compliance within Santa Monica. In partnership with Santa Monica Chamber, we collected over 190 handbags filled with toiletries for its annual Handbags for Hope campaign. For the past 8 years, we've worked with over 30 partners to put together events for Women's History Month. This included an opening reception and a poetry art exhibit at City Hall.
By participating in the 4th of July parade and Coast, we increase the community's awareness of people with disabilities. An article in the Santa Monica Daily Press garnered city's support of Disability Employment Awareness Month, which led to a proclamation by City Council. We also provided feedback on proposed policy changes to the Big Blue Bus transportation resources and its services. We've increased our focus on emergency preparedness by participating in the city's CERT training. We are involved in City's Homelessness Steering Committee and advocating for employment needs as a pathway out of homelessness.
Nancy, you're such a mainstay at the annual review. How do you keep your segment so fresh and exciting?
My commissioners and I love what we do.
Incredible. Just incredible.
Just incredible?
The past year saw substantial accomplishments in conservation, water storage, and infrastructure improvements. Through MWD's continued support of local water conservation programs, its member agencies conserved a combined 1 million acre-feet of water in 2017. Both MWD and Santa Monica are focused on infrastructure improvements, including the project behind me, a cistern for storage of captured runoff that will be treated for reuse at the adjacent Santa Monica Urban Runoff Recycling Facility. This plant, which we call SMRF, is capable of treating approximately 500,000 gallons per day of urban and stormwater runoff. Additional details and MWD accomplishments are provided in a series of informational videos that can be accessed on YouTube.
High five. I'm gonna be her one day.
In 2017, we focused on homelessness and social inclusion. We held a special Joint Social Services Housing Commissions meeting on homelessness and housing insecurity. Throughout the year, we reviewed existing services, countywide approaches, and our city's proposed new responses to the homelessness crisis. Earlier in the year, we focused on equal protection for all Santa Monicans, especially on the basis of immigration status, religion, sexual orientation, and gender identity. On a more hopeful note, our first ever entry in the annual 4th of July parade hosted nonprofit and community partners with a banner advancing inclusion, diversity, and well-being.
There are so many fans of the annual review.
In 2017, 266 West Nile virus infections were documented in Los Angeles County, including 27 fatalities, with the largest number of infections occurring in August. None of these occurred in Santa Monica. Also for Santa Monica, there were 63 service requests for mosquitoes, 470 for bee services, 66% higher than last year, and no reports of red ants. A total of 17 Zika cases were identified by Los Angeles County Department of Public Health in 2017, down from 106 last year. That's how it's done. Amateur.
January 2017, the Arts Commission formed a Bergamot Ad Hoc Committee comprised of 5 arts commissioners that met regularly to discuss the developments at Bergamot Arts Center and to provide recommendations for the Arts Commission to consider and authorize. In May, the Arts Commission discussed and approved the Ad Hoc Committee's recommendations that the city extend the exclusive negotiating agreement for interim management of the site, as well as limiting the rent and associated fees for tenants not to increase greater than the Consumer Price Index. The Commission also approved a general process and outline for the development of long-term arts management plan for the site. Doesn't get any better than that, guys. And at least I wasn't a pain like Nancy.
Can I get you to stand in? I need to frame this here.
I know every line of your segment.
I know, but I need somebody to stand in. So. Real good. We saw the City Council approve the removal of library fines for youth under 18. We collaborated with library staff and City Council to better serve homeless patrons with dedicated social services personnel and additional library safety officers. We also worked together with library staff and city staff to improve the safety and efficacy of the library parking structure. We celebrated record-setting participation in our summer youth reading program and formed a new library board working group to involve more community members in library affairs. Next year, we hope to increase public attendance at library board meetings, so please join us. Maybe we better try another set.
All right, thank you so much for the interview, and break a leg, okay?
Thanks.
Okay, all right.
In 2016, the City Council and voters adopted the Housing Commission's recommendation to restore prior affordable funding levels through a sales tax increase and matching city funds. In 2017, the Housing Commission developed and the City Council adopted enhanced public planning and transparency measures to govern the future expenditure of these new funds. We also worked with staff to complete development of a locally funded rent subsidy pilot program in order to assist our extremely low-income seniors, allowing them to live with dignity and remain in their long-term rent-controlled apartments. City Council approved the launch of this pilot program. The Housing Commission further recommended, and the City Council approved, enhanced measures to promote housing development rather than commercial development in the downtown, and increased requirements for deed-restricted affordable units in those downtown housing developments, ranging from 20% to 30%.
Behind this door is Anastasia Foster. Let me see if she has a moment to speak with us. Come on, come on.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Is that my pizza?
Anastasia.
Just a moment. I'll see if she's ready. Brian, darling, I had no idea you were out here. Yeah. Please come in.
I don't want to impose, but would it be possible for you to give us a portion of your amazing monologue from the annual review?
Of course, Brian, for you, anything.
Yes.
The Rent Control Board adopted regulations requiring owners to give tenants a single-page summary of rights and responsibilities under the law at the beginning of their tenancies. To simplify this new requirement, we implemented registration filing through our website. The Rent Control Board also adopted a 2017 annual rent increase of 2% with a maximum increase of $40 for all controlled units. As property values continue to rise, we recognize that bond-related surcharges put a strain on already rent-burdened tenants. We continue to work on this issue and welcome input from you. We also heard from property owners that the cost of seismic safety retrofitting may be prohibitively expensive for some, and we recommended that City Council consider ways to provide or to arrange for low-cost financing for owners who require it to undertake city-mandated earthquake retrofitting. How was that?
Fantastic.
Hey, bud. You feel a little sick? I thought I heard you coughing back there.
I'm good, Joy, thanks.
No, really. If you're not feeling well, I can step in. That's what the vice chair's here for.
Joy, I'm good, really, thank you.
Hey, bud. How you feeling?
Why is everybody asking me that? I'm good, thank you. In 2017, the Personnel Board reviewed 70 new or revised job specifications. This process ensures the accuracy and consistency of desired qualifications and experience and helps the city attract well-qualified applicants who, once hired, will prove to be great assets to the Santa Monica community. In addition, we reviewed and approved 28 outside activity requests from city staff. but I think those of us who sit on the board find our most fulfilling role to be keeper of the Constitution, specifically the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, which guarantees to all permanent civil service employees a formal evidentiary hearing before a neutral body in the event of disciplinary action. Commissioned by the City Charter, our decisions and recommendations help the city maintain a strong workforce and an environment in which all employees are treated fairly.
Come on, guys, let's just get one more rehearsal in. Tourism continued to be a substantial economic driver in our community, creating jobs that cannot be exported and added significant revenue to the City of Santa Monica's general fund. This year, Santa Monica Travel and Tourism launched strategic programs across the globe to keep our markets diverse and gain overnight visitors from China and India. 45% of our visitors are welcomed to Santa Monica from international origins, and they tend not to drive, stay longer, spend more, and use public transportation. A perfect recipe for our community. It's been a great year for Santa Monica Tourism. Thanks to all of you for everything you do for this community.
The Downtown Santa Monica Incorporated Board of Directors was pleased to have helped advise city staff on the Downtown Community Plan, providing insight and other opinions on building heights and density, public space activation, transportation, even mobility. The board approved an 18-month public art program called Roam Santa Monica in partnership with the City of Santa Monica and the Arts Commission. In January, Santa Monica's Ambassador Program expanded its hospitality and maintenance efforts to include the district's neighboring Tongva and Palisades parks. Downtown Santa Monica also presented for the 11th year in a row Ice at Santa Monica, welcoming over 60,000 skaters, as well as youth from the Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, and the Police Activities League. The district also advised on forming a Promenade Tenancy Committee to analyze retail trends and make recommendations on leasing and business diversity to ensure the 3rd Street Promenade remains a vibrant, attractive destination for residents and visitors alike.
Rob, come on, please let me in, Rob. Please, I just want to see the show.
Come on, Billy.
Ugh, unbelievable.
All right, everybody, settle. Let's have a great show.
Oh, hey, I'm really nervous.
You'll be fine, kid. Go for it.
It's time to experience the most awe-inspiring performance ever reported by any city, anywhere. Are you ready for the greatest annual review on Earth?
This is the gag. Okay, try it again.
No one rocks a hard hat and a data necklace like you. I want to be you one day. I want to be you.
We get it?
That's incredible.